Hello everyone! I'm Buford MC, and welcome back to another episode of GregTech New Horizons. So today, I want to continue on in the Steam age, and specifically, I want to make a brand new Steam machine, and that machine is the Steam Alloy Smelter. Now, the Steam Alloy Smelter is a fairly important machine for us here going into the Steam age, as it's going to allow us to make alloys of particular things. Now, one thing that we're going to be able to use this for is making bronze. Now, bronze is something we've already been making, but using the alloy smelter, we're going to be able to make it a lot more efficiently. So let's take a look at that recipe. So if you take a look at bronze, the way we were making it was through the bronze dust. And the way we made that was through a combination of 3 copper dust and 1 tin dust. So you have to mortar down the copper and the tin to get the bronze. You get 3, and you smelt that in a furnace in order to get bronze ingots. However, now that we can make the alloy smelter, we have a much better recipe. And in the alloy smelter, we can combine 3 copper ingots with 1 tin ingot, and we get 4 bronze. So we get more bronze, and we don't even have to turn these into dust form. So this is going to be quite a nice upgrade for us, and that's one reason we want to get the alloy smelter. The other reason that we want to get the alloy smelter is that it's going to allow us to make other alloys that we can't make through crafting. So it is going to be an important part of our progression. So that's what we're going to get into today. But before we do that, I want to give you a little bit of an update on our crop breeding situation. So let's take a look at this area over here. So I have been working on this just a bit. We've got some crops growing, so not much has really changed. I don't think I've changed any of the actual crops just yet, but I have been working towards a couple of goals. So one of the goals I've been working towards, which I mentioned before, was we're trying to get some stickweed so that we can get sticky resin. And that's what we're doing on this side. So over there we get the sticky resin, but I'm trying to get it from stickweed so that we won't need those trees anymore. And what we need to get first is we need to get something called hemp. Now, we did get hemp right here, but I haven't actually harvested it yet, so we don't actually have the seed bag yet, but we'll see if we get it. We'll give it a shot in a moment. If not, it's okay. Now, over here, I actually have been working quite a bit. So, one project I've kind of undertaken a bit is I'm trying to organize all the different seeds we have. So, as you can probably see, I've got these separated by tiers. So, if you look at a particular seed over here, you'll see that it has a different tier. So, potato is tier 2. Cocoa is tier 3. Vines are tier 2. So basically what I did was I went around and looked at all the seeds that we had, and I kind of ordered them into their particular tier. So in this chest we've got our tier 1 seeds. This chest is tier 2. This one's tier 3. And in this chest we have tier 4 plus. And these are the tier 4 seeds. This one, which I got, Spanish moss, is a tier 7 seed. So that's a really good one. Now, the reason I'm trying to get all of these different seeds and all these different tier seeds is, if you look at this area over here, which is what we're using for our general kind of breeding, just to see what we can get, you'll notice that most of these are pretty low tier. Cocoa's tier 3, potatoes tier 2, carrots tier 2, wheat's tier 1, and what we get, and actually, I can't believe I just saw this here. That's stickweed, isn't it? I can't believe it. Hang on a minute. Let me get my little plant lens. Why can't I get my plant lens? Hang on a minute. Let's take a look at this. Actually, let's go to sleep as well. But that just completely took me off guard there. That stickweed we just got. That made this entire setup over here obsolete now. I think it is stickweed. Yep. Unbelievable. Okay, anyways, what I was trying to say was I'm trying to get these different tiers of crops to a higher level. So we've got lower tier crops here, but apparently it worked out over here for us. And what we've got to do is I want to try and replace these with higher tier crops so we can get higher tiers. So basically that's what I've been doing. And I've been trying to order up some higher tier crops. So eventually we're going to replace the lower tier like wheat, potatoes, carrots, with something like from tier 3 or tier 4. And maybe even we can use this one at some point to see what we can get. Because I assume we will probably be able to get higher tier crops from breeding together higher tier crops. So for example, right now we're using like tier 1s, tier 2s, sometimes tier 3s. But tier 3s and 4s, I would imagine we can get some higher tier crops. So that's quite good. And yeah, that's something I've been working towards in this area. Now I do want to just quickly take a look at what we've got, because I haven't actually been looking at this. So what is this one right here? This is a berry. We already know that's stickweed, which I'm not even going to try to break that. I actually will have to redo this whole area now, because I'm not going to risk losing that, because that is that valuable to us right now. That's a weed. Let's just break that. We probably don't need to do some planting here now. This is a potato. So let's just break all of these crop sticks, because we're not going to stay here the whole episode. We have other places to be. Let's see. You are a cocoa. Carrots. Yeah, this guy's completely changed my entire plans. I was excited about the hemp over there. I didn't even know we had that guy yet. Let's see. What's this guy? This is a cocoa. What is this one? Glowflower. Ooh. I don't think we have that one yet. And this is carrots. Oh, we have some stuff over here. Oh, this is something else I want to mention. This gray stone lily. So, as you can see, this is only a size 2 or 3, and it cannot grow any further. So, if we take a look at this seed here, so, stone lily. And let's see, gray is that one. If we press Control, it'll tell you need a block of cobblestone, stone, and a site below for it to fully mature. So I'm going to have to do something underneath that in order to have that grow. We actually have another one over here. That one is a pumpkin. I'll break this one. What is that one? Wolf's Bane. Interesting. We have eye bulb. Okay, I've gotten that one before. We have, this is another one here. We have netherstone lily. So this is one that cannot grow either. Now, unfortunately, this one needs a netherrack. We can't get to the nether yet, so I can't really do anything about that one. This one is a white stone lily. So that one needs a block of marble or diorite. So we need that. Ooh, there's a goldfish right there, isn't there? Okay, I don't want to get close to that, because it will make that horrifying noise. This is a weed. Let's avoid that goldfish. There's the hemp. There's a pumpkin, I'm assuming. And that is a carrot. So let's just make sure I've got all the crop sticks, the empty ones at least. Looks like we do. So yeah, I'm going to have to play around with that because, yeah, I was not expecting that, to be honest. So that's quite good news for us. This is wheat right here. So yeah, basically I've been out and trying to sort all these different seeds up. So this is a big project I've been working on lately. And I do actually want to mention that there's 2 ways to determine how you can figure out kind of what tier seed is. Because when you look at the actual seeds, it doesn't really tell you that. The only way you can know is by planting it. However, another way you can check is by checking on the GTNH wiki page. So there's a page that lists all the IC2 crops, and it gives you kind of the different tiers. So basically that's what I did. I went through all of the seeds that I had, and I just kind of went through there and looked at it. So I can put a link into the description for that if you're interested. But yeah, so that's what we're doing over here. We're checking out all the different tiers. Eventually we'll probably have higher tiers of stuff, and we'll hopefully be able to get some more crops. And I'm really glad we found that. That's like a really good find. So that's quite good. But yeah, so that's what we're doing over here. So let's put this away. And I'm also using this chest over here just to store all the type of things you get. Because when you do get the seeds, you get a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, we've got garlic, wild carrots, sugar beet, dusk berries. This is the Spanish moss. Not sure what that does. Green glow shrooms. We've got some ivy. We've got a, this is an eye bulb. No idea what that thing does. But yeah, so this is what we've been up to over here. And let me just double check again that we got all those crop sticks. I think we did. Yeah, looks pretty good to me. Double check over here. Especially near that stickweed. Can't believe we got that still. I thought it was going to be a lot longer to get there. But yeah, that's quite good. Alright, so let's head back into the base and get to work on making the alloy smelter. So the steam setup over here, not much has really changed with this. The tank we have for steam is full though now. So as you can see, this is completely full up. We've got 720 buckets of steam in there now. So what I've done now that that's full up, I have a soft mallet up here. And with the soft mallet, if you hit this machine, you can turn it on and off. So right now I've turned it off so that we're not wasting any charcoal to make steam that we don't need. But once we start using some machines, we'll have to turn that back on. In fact, let me put that, I can keep in my inventory for now. It's not going to do any harm. So let's go ahead and make the alloy smelter. So, oh, and also I did complete this quest right here. So I was working on a quest in the fishing, farming, and cooking tab, which was to make some, or not make, but gather some carrots, potatoes, melons, pumpkins. Not too difficult of a quest, but it looks like we can get some glowstone. 32 glowstones, not too bad. So let's take that. We already had a little bit, but there's some more. And yeah, so that was a quest I tried to do there. I also tried to do this one for flower power, and I'm not quite sure why these are complete, because I don't remember having these. But what you try to do is you have to plant roses and dandelions, and you actually need 4 of them on a crop stick. I actually don't have that many, so I have to go out and get some. So that's something I'm going to have to do so I can complete that quest. But yeah, that's what I've been kind of working on in kind of that area. So let's get to the steam age again. So I want to make the alloy smelter, and to do that, we're going to need 2 furnaces, a brick bronze hull, and some small bronze fluid pipes. So let's see what we have. We've got, well, we don't have the furnaces. We do have some cobblestone over here. Let's take a stack. Just need 2 furnaces for this. I will need some more flint at some point. What else do we need? We need some small bronze fluid pipes. Do we have any in here? No, we need more. Probably need some more bronze as well. Looks like we're running low here. We might have just enough though. So that's 6 plates. That should be enough to make this. There we go. And there should be our alloy smelter. Yay, we got it. So there's an achievement there. Should be a quest as well. Let's take a look. We got the alloy smelter. Oh, we have to craft a brick bronze hull. We actually got a few of these from loot bags. Oh, that's more bronze. Let's see. I actually don't have... Oh, no, I actually have just enough. We need 5 plates for this, don't we? Yep. Alright, we can make more in the alloy smelter, so this is perfect timing for us. We have just enough for this. So, let's see. I think it was that, and we grab some bricks. There we go, brick bronze hull, so you had to craft that as well. Now we should get the quest. There we go. More advanced alloys. And that should give... Oh, gives us a little bit of bronze. Put that in there. So, let's kind of install this and get to see what we can do with this. So, we're going to put that next to the furnace, and I'm going to need to bring this pipe over. We should have... Yep, we do have one there. Probably just do this, right? Move that there, and then put that one there. We just pop this guy down. Perfect. Make sure that he's got an output. There we go. So we've got the alloy smelter. So now what we can do is we just throw some tin and copper in, and we should start making bronze. Let's take a look. We've got plenty of both of these, so this shouldn't be too much of an issue. Perfect. So 20 seconds. It does use a lot of steam. 640 liters per second of steam. So, yeah, it does use, quite a bit of steam. This one only used like 180. So let's get those guys turned on as well. So yeah, the alloy smelter does use a lot of steam. Let's go to sleep as well. So yeah, there we go, 4 bronze. So it is pretty efficient in making bronze now, so a lot more efficient. So that's going to be quite good for us. So yeah, there we go. The alloy smelter, we've installed it. But yeah, it is going to eat through our steam, it looks like, because that's quite a bit. It's using 640, so something to keep in mind there, I think. But for now, it seems to be okay. That's why we needed this type of a buffer, I think. At least we can keep this thing running for a while, but it will run out at some point if we try to run this forever. So we do need to be a bit careful about that. But it works pretty well, I'd say. Let's put these coins away as well. Put the coins over here. Got some former coins, which go here, and some technician coins. So, what else can we get on with here? Let's take a look. We can do this quest. This is going to make some small tin item pipes. In fact, there is something I want to do with those. I actually want to do a bit of an experiment here. There is something else I want to do, so... What was that? What on earth was that? Okay. That was very strange. Anyways, let's get some tin. I have absolutely no idea what just happened there. I heard some sort of a noise. It looked like I took damage. No clue. We need 12 tin plates. And let's see, where's my hammer? Let's put these away. And we're going to make some of the small tin item pipes. So basically the same way you make with the bronze pipes. Here we go. So that should be a quest as well. So we got that one. Ooh, some spaghetti. Quite nice. And some more coins. So what I want to do with this is I actually want to do a little bit of a test. So I went out earlier and I got some more redstone because we're running a little bit low on redstone. And we do need some of that for something coming up. So I went to get some more redstone. I went to the redstone vein. I mined up some redstone. And I was thinking, how am I going to process this redstone? And what I kind of thought of was the way we process redstone is, if I take a look, actually I have some over here. Let's take a look at that. So, let's see, where is it? There's the redstone. So if you look at the uses for redstone, the way we process it is you have to use the hammer in order to get 5 crushed redstone, or using raw redstone. So if you have a stack of this, hammers using iron typically last about a stack of items. So that's going to be a whole hammer gone just like that. If you want to turn the crushed redstone into the impure redstone, you have to do that again. That's 5 stacks of crushed redstone ore you get from the 1 stack of raw redstone. That's 5 more hammers. And each of these hammers takes about 6 iron ingots, so if you want to process down 1 stack of this, you need 36 iron. And that's quite a bit. But I found something kind of interesting out. So, a little while ago, we made that windmill over there. And I had a thought, can it process the redstone? And the answer is yes. And I decided that's how we're going to process our redstone for now, at least down into the impure version, because then all we need to do is go up there to the water tank and drop it in the cauldron to get the redstone. So that thing should be busy kind of working away at some redstone. So let's go take a look. But there are a couple of things we need to keep in mind. I'm going to want that. So, there's a couple of things I want to try and take a look at here. So let's go take a look at this. So, yeah, this is quite an interesting find I have. But what we're also going to do here might be a little bit cheaty, at least compared to where we should be. So, what I've got here is I have the windmill. It is working, as you can see, on crushed redstone ore. I've already got all the crushed redstone ore. And this is processed in here. We've got a hopper with a chest on top. And that's feeding in crushed redstone ore directly into the windmill. So that's how you automate the input into it. Because I was thinking, this only has 1 slot. That's going to be kind of tough. But using this, you can kind of automate this a bit. The problem is the output. this stuff is output into a dispenser, and this dispenser only has 9 slots. If I want to keep this running for long term, you know, it could get full. But I have an idea, and I realize I actually need a chest for this, so we have to run back to the base, so let's do that quickly. I have an idea. I want to see if we can use this conveyor module here, which we got from the loot games a little while ago, to auto-export the redstone from that dispenser into a chest so that thing can continuously run. Now, we're not supposed to have this at this point in the mod pack. This is something we're supposed to have made in the LV tier, but we did get it from the loot games, so we do have access to it right now. And, well, I want to see if we can at least take advantage of it. So, let's see if this is going to work, because I don't know if this is actually going to work. But we can give it a shot. Oh, the thing just broke, didn't it? Yeah, I was worried that was going to happen. It lasts a decent amount of time, but it did just break, didn't it? So that's something else. But anyways, let's see if we can at least... I can fix that later. Let's see if we can at least auto-output this stuff here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to attach a tin item pipe there, put a chest on the bottom, and connect that up. I don't think you can put arrows on these. So you just connect it up. But in order to actually output from this, you can't just do that. It's not going to do anything. What we need to do is put the conveyor module on this corner facing the dispenser. I think if we shift, we can turn it into export or import. I think we want it on import. And will that work? Okay, maybe not. Is it export? No. Allow input. I don't know if it's gonna work. Could be doing something wrong, but yeah, doesn't look like it's gonna work. Because you can't put a hop underneath this because this hardened clay here is part of the structure. Okay, well, it was worth a shot, I suppose. Yeah, I'll fix this up later. But yeah, that was just something I wanted to see if it might work or not. Doesn't look like it does. So, that's alright. Oh, let's actually grab the redstone that was already in there, in fact. Because I will need that. I'm gonna need to break you. Oh, that's a problem, isn't it? We need a steel wrench to break tin item pipes. I've made a giant mess here. That's alright, we can actually fix that. Okay, let's grab something to eat here quick. Alright, let's go fix this mess up here. So, I forgot, you cannot break tin item pipes. It actually mentioned that, and I think in this quest up here, doesn't it? Yeah, you'll need a steel wrench to remove them. The good news is, we do have a little bit of steel from a... Let's see if I can find it. Oh, it's in here. Yeah, we have a little bit of steel we found from across the world, so we can make a steel wrench. That's not going to be an issue. And hammer. We are going to need a crowbar as well to get that cover off. And we'll grab that redstone as well. Okay, well, let's do that. And we can clean up that redstone. But anyways, this is just, I feel like, a much better way of dealing with redstone. I was hoping we might be able to auto-output it, but it doesn't look like that works. So, that's a little bit of a bummer. And we should be able to break you now, and let's take all of this. And we'll leave that in there for now. Take the chest as well. What's that still doing? So it just pauses when the rotor breaks. That's alright, I can make another one. So, let's go clean down this redstone, get a little bit more. And we'll see what we need to do next. So it's actually quite a good thing I think we made the steel wrench, because this should last quite a bit longer than an iron wrench, I would assume. Let's see. Iron wrench, 25,600, 51,200. So that's basically double the power. That one, double the durability. So that's quite good. Let's put these item pipes away. The spaghetti... I don't think we have room in here. Nope. We will put these coins away as well. And let's go clean off that redstone. Need a bucket as well. So this is actually quite fun to do now, since we have this big water tank here. And by the way, this thing is now almost, it's 3/4 of the way filled up, so it's doing quite well. It's keeping up with these guys. So what we can do is we can just throw some stacks in. So yeah, it's quite easy to do this part. So there we go, 5 stacks of redstone, just like that. So let's talk about why we need that redstone after we go to sleep. So the reason I needed to get a bit more redstone is because the next thing we need to do is use this... There's that noise again! Where is that coming from? Is there someone in here? Huh. Oh, that is really strange. I've never heard that before today. That was both in this same area. Huh. Okay. Anyways, so, what were we trying to do? Ah, yes, I was going to tell you about this right here. A very important alloy. So we need to make something called red alloy, which has a very long chemical formula, it looks like. At least, whatever that is. What we need is some redstone and copper to make this. And in order to make 1 ingot, you need 1 ingot of copper, but you need 4 redstone. So, you know, to make 16 of this, you need a stack of redstone. Hence why we need more redstone. So we have that now, and let's go ahead and see if we can make some. We do need a bit of copper, I think. 16 should do. Let's go take this over to the alloy smelter. Now we do, there's a good bit of bronze there. I'll take that out, we'll let that finish. Don't need that, we just need a 16 in there. And we do have to do this. It is quite slow, unfortunately, this guy, but it's quite good, I guess. It does give us bronze a lot more easily, so that's quite good. There we go, and that's off and running. So this recipe's a bit faster. This is only 5 seconds, so this one shouldn't take too long. So that's quite good. So for the quest, we need 14 ingots. Well, we really don't have to wait for that, because I actually have some in here. So I think we actually got some of that from the loot game as well, and I think I also had a few of that beforehand anyways, just from some loot chests around the world. So let's just grab that. That'll complete the quest for us immediately. There we go. Long chest. And actually, you know what? I'm going to keep that out, because now that we need that, oh, that complete another quest. Let's take a look. I'll put that in here, because we can just keep that out there for now. There's our bronze. Let's see what just happened. Ah, this is the wire cutter. We made that a while ago. So that's completed a quest again. So we're starting to make some progress here, it looks like. So we can make 4 red alloy. Let's take the loot bag that time. That's probably a better deal for us. And this quest right here, I think the loot bag's the better deal on that one too. So, that's quite good. So, we're starting to make some good progress here in the Steam Age now. So we've got our alloy smelter up and running. We've got red alloy. And we're ready to carry on. So, looks like coming up is going to be the macerator and the compressor. So those are going to be some machines coming up soon. And before we end off, actually this is done. So there's some red alloy. How are we doing on Steam? Not too bad. So yeah, that's quite good. How much do we have now? We have 34 red alloy ingots, quite good. Alright, so let's end off by opening up these 2 loot bags we just got. Let's see if we have any others. Doesn't look like it. That's alright. So let's see what we get. Ooh, we got another brick bronze hull. We've been getting quite a lot of those. We also got a hearty breakfast. Another good food. And let's see what we get from this one. Ooh, potion of night vision. 4 of those. That's quite handy to have. It is quite dark in the night, so that's quite good. Where's my potions at? Let's turn that back on. There we go. So the potions go in there. And let's put these coins away as well. Chemist coins? Which one of these? There we go. So yeah, so we've made some pretty decent progress, I think, now in the Steam Age. We've got an alloy smelter. We've got a better way of making bronze. We have a new alloy in the form of red alloy. And apparently we even have stickweed, which I wasn't expecting to get today at all, actually. That was a complete surprise to me. So, yeah, we're definitely starting to progress. We're making some good progress. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.